prep is not a fitness trend.
Like, if you're not keeping up with it, something can happen, which I pray never does, but, like, it's a possibility, and you want to be aware.
Welcome to Let's Thrive podcast. I'm Abby.
And I'm Bri.
And today is going to be the first episode in our bikini prep series. We're going to be talking about all things from should you go into a prep, things to know. That will be today's episode. And then the next two episodes will be actually about the prep themselves, post-show. That'll be a good one. So, yeah, that's how we're going to go about that.
Yep, that sounds pretty good.
So, I competed past April in bikini in Bri.
Yeah, I competed in summer shredding in October 2021, so that was fun.
Yeah, so we were both first-time competitors, and we haven't competed since, but we just wanted to give you guys, like, some insight on things to expect, like, going into prep. Should you go into prep? Because I know I get a lot of girls in my DMs that are like, I want to compete someday. I loved your series on YouTube, like, whatever it is, but a lot of them I just don't think understand what actually goes into a prep.
Yeah.
And we also made a post about this, is prep is not a fitness trend.
Yeah, like, bikini competitions is not a trend. Like, you shouldn't follow it because of the aesthetics that you see on stage. Like, that should not be the sole reason that you want to do it. You have to have, like, some type of motivation, some type of drive to do it, because if not, then it's going to be literally the worst thing that you put yourself in.
Yeah, 100% on that. Yeah, definitely don't go into a prep unless your intentions are good intentions. If you're going into a prep because you hate your body and you want to be lean, even when you're lean, you're not going to be happy with your body.
Yeah, you may still hate your body.
Yes, exactly. Like, the body dysmorphia that happens during prep is insane.
No,
during prep,
yeah.
after prep, am I lean enough? And then after show, gaining weight.
I remember I got, like, an in-body, like, at 4.5 weeks out, and I sent it to my uncle, and I was like, I'm literally not lean enough. And I was like, 12% body fat. And he was like, don't let the muscle dysmorphia, like, get to you. And I was like, man, it's real.
Like, even, like, the fittest people you see, like, may not be happy with their bodies, may not think they're good enough, and even, like, prep can heighten those emotions you have.
Yeah, I remember watching, like, a C-Bum video, and he was, like, literally about to step on stage, like, days out from the Olympia, and he's like, I look like shit.
Yeah. And that's crazy. And, like, there's so much, all the effort that goes into the prep itself, and then, like, getting to show day, and, like, if you're not feeling happy with yourself still, like, that's just, like,
yeah, it's
mindfuck.
Horrible. Literally, though, because you're going to sit on it, and you're going to think about it, and you'll be like, why?
Yep.
Like, why? That's all you're going to ask, 100%.
So, I guess we can start with, like, our own intentions, like, going into prep. Like, we kind of touched on it briefly in the last episode, but I guess, yeah, just, like, what were your intentions, I guess, when you started prep?
I briefly spoke about it on our first episode, that I had a friend at A&M who she went through her first prep and competed, and I really kind of liked following along in her journey. And I was like, man, like, if she can do it, I can do it, because she kind of has the same morals as I do, and she's very strong in her, like, determination to do things. Like, if she's going to start it, she's going to finish it. So I was like, well, I have that same mindset, so I'm going to try it. And I've always seen it, and my uncle always competed, so I kind of didn't watch him at his shows, but, like, I've heard about it, and he enjoyed it, and he's had experience. So I was like, okay, like, I can go into it with someone that I can trust full-heartedly. And I kind of just full sent it. I was like, I kind of put it off for a while. My intentions were to start in August of 2020, and that didn't happen. So then I finally started prep in August of 2021, and then competed in October. But yeah, it was kind of something that I had in the back of my mind, not something that I was willing to commit to once it kind of came to mind, but after some time and really a lot of persuasion to myself. But yeah, eventually I kind of ended up doing it, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. I didn't really have anybody, like, I know you had your uncle Bri and, like, your friend. I didn't really have anybody, like, actually in my life besides, like, people on social media that I followed that were into all of that kind of stuff. But I followed a bunch of people that competed. Like, I followed Lauralee, I followed C-Bum, like, all those kinds of people, Julia Renee, and when I started working with my coach for lifestyle reasons, like, I had always told her, like, I would love to compete someday. I just didn't know when that day was. Yeah. But pretty much, I guess my intentions with, like, the prep itself, like, wasn't that I was just, like, in love with, like, being on the stage and bodybuilding. Like, it wasn't necessarily the sport, I think. I think for me, it was more, like, what can what am I capable of? Like, do I have, like, the self-discipline to do this? Like, what lessons will I learn from going through a prep? Because you will learn a lot about yourself through a prep. So I mainly did it for those reasons. I remember my coach told me, like, how do you feel about being 18 weeks out? I touched on that on the last episode, and then I just full sent it from there, because if you keep putting it off, you're not going to do it. Like, that's like anything. If you put it off, you're probably not going to do it. So, full sent it, just like Bri. So, that were our intentions. We didn't go into it like, we just want to get really lean, we want to shred down. It wasn't any of that. It wasn't to achieve some, like, sustainable physique. Yeah. It wasn't that at all. It wasn't that we hated our bodies. It wasn't that our coaches were just forcing us, like, nothing like that.
It was pretty cool to see what I can do and, like, what my body can look like. But at the same time, when I got there, I was like, I am skin and bone and some muscle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, I saw when my Instagram friend Sydney, she was saying how, like, her main thing she realized when she got to, like, peak week was, like, you look like a jacked little boy. I was like, that's so true, because you're just so skinny, and, like, even, like, your ass, like, goes away. You just have, like, all you have is your glutes left. Just, like, everything. Like, all your curves, like, you're just, like...
That's the sad truth. Like, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was wearing, like, some leggings, and you can see the muscle definition, but, like, nothing was, like, voluptuous. Like, it was just like, she's got glutes, and it's simply a muscle.
Yeah,
like,
skin and bones, like, just like the muscle, like, same thing.
Attractive.
Like, your boobs might get smaller, like, because that's fat, like, everything. All your curves are going to go away. So, it's just kind of funny. I thought that was a funny analogy, like, you're just, like, a jacked little boy.
Yeah, no, I really, because I did feel like a little boy at times. Like, oh, it was just so messy.
The mailman's here. What do we do?
I'll get that. 1 sec. No.
Sorry, guys. Quick intermission as the mailman got here and held up a package to the door.
The mailman was trying to hop on the pod.
Anyway, we should have had him on the pod, seen his perspective on bodybuilding. But yeah, I guess, like, we can just go into, like, things we wish we knew prior to competing.
Yes.
I think that would be a good one.
Something that I wish I knew prior to competing was the expenses. I kind of jumped into it with, like, passion, but at the same time, like, no realistic insight on what was going to hit in my finances. Like, my personal savings, everything. Like, it was a mess.
That's a huge thing. Do not go into a prep unless you're in a financial place where you can invest in it, or else you're going to cause financial stress on your body, stress on your mind. You're going to have to try to get through prep as cheaply as possible, and that's a huge added stressor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of expenses, and I posted this in my story recently because everyone always asks the price of prep. If you're asking about the price of prep, you probably shouldn't compete because you're probably worried about your finances.
How much it should be.
Honestly, you probably shouldn't compete. But I said the good thing, like, was that everything for me was very spread out with, like, my payments on everything, because I kind of just spread it out. Like, so you have your coach, that's going to be a monthly expense. You had free coaching because it was your uncle, though, right?
Yeah, so that was the fact that I'm still saying that it's so expensive, even though I had, like, the blessing of my uncle to, like, guide me through it, just says a lot.
Exactly. So there's a lot of expenses. So, like, you have, like, the coaching is usually, like, a monthly expense, and that's usually pretty hefty.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, just, like, the show day expenses are a lot. So that's why I kind of separated things out personally. Like, that bikini, how much was your bikini?
I paid $800 for my bikini.
Damn. I think I paid, like, in the 600s for my bikini, and this is literally a bikini you're gonna wear probably one day, unless you wear it to multiple shows. It's absolutely insane. But mine was from Toxic Angels, I think. Where was yours from?
ACB, Angel Bikini, ABC? Gotcha. Angel Bikini Competition. It's one of the two.
Yeah, so that, like, I made sure I spaced that out. Like, I got my bikini, like, pretty early-ish on, so I knew, like, that expense would be out of the way. And, like, as you get closer to show, like, the actual show day itself, like, if you're getting your hair done, if you're getting your makeup done, your nails, your tan, oh my god.
The tan, oh my gosh.
That thing is brutal.
That thing is expensive.
Did you have Pro Tan?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We paid $125.
I want to say it was around $200 at the end. But, I don't know. It was around there. And then
Ugh.
I was in what is it called? I was in 3.
Like classes?
Is it classes?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I was registered in 3 different ones. So I was in like novice, true novice, and open. So those are like
what,
I think that was like
$150
I think it was around 3 something I paid just to be enrolled in those to whatever you're competing in. So yeah, it's a pretty hefty expense. We'll just say that.
Yeah, no, pretty hefty, and that's because like I didn't even do like an NPC show. Like I did summer shredding.
Yeah,
so, like, I
did
had
an
one
NPC
class,
show, yeah.
and it was just still so expensive. Like every little thing adds up because you're buying groceries almost every 5 days.
Groceries, supplements.
Yeah.
If you're enhanced, that's going to be another expense too.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. So that's something I wish I would have known because that hit me like a bus.
Exactly. I'll go for one of my main things that I wish I had knew is like just your health, like general health, hormones, blood work, those things. So if you're going into a prep, get your blood work done before your prep. I did not.
You didn't
either?
Mm-mm.
Did you get it after?
No.
You never had it done?
I've never
had it. Me and Bri, are you scared of blood? Or needles?
Yes. I fainted when I popped my finger open, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day.
Oh my god. And even me with like a nursing background and IVs and shit, like I'm fine on other people for the most part, like whatever, like I've done that stuff before, but like actually getting my own blood taken gives me the heebie-jeebies, but nonetheless, you should get your blood work done, a hormonal panel, not just regular blood work.
Yeah.
So you know, like, how's your estrogen levels, how's your testosterone? Because if those things are, like, tanked before prep, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. And especially, like, another thing regarding hormones, like, if you're on birth control, that's a big one,
that's
too.
A huge one.
Because your hormones are already suppressed because of it, especially your estrogen. So, like, going into a prep on that can have an effect on your body later on. But, again, you won't know until you get your blood work done. So, I still don't know. So, don't be like Abby and I. Go get it done.
100%. I wish I knew that. Definitely get it done. Even if you're not going into a prep, if you're just, like, a lifestyle person, especially if you're on birth control, definitely a good idea to just get your labs checked here and there because it's gonna one, affect the way you feel, the way your body's functioning, and then just like your progress. If your levels are all out of whack before prep, you're gonna have a hard time seeing progress because everything is just not working optimally.
And this goes for like whether you're on a like really strict fitness journey or whether you're kind of freelancing it. Like getting your blood work done overall is just very healthy, especially if you've got like history of family history of like metabolic diseases and things like that. Like that trickles down if your health is not in line. Like if you're not keeping up with it, something can happen, which I pray never does, but like it's a possibility and you want to be aware.
100%. Yeah. So even your health, just like realize how unhealthy you're getting during the prep. You are getting by the end of prep, like we'll talk about more about prep itself, but you're gonna be like literally a walking zombie. It's so funny, like on show day, like everyone just looks like a zombie with makeup on. It's crazy.
So like tiny. Oh gosh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like we're a little
scarred. We're like a little scarred. Everyone's a little scarred after their prep.
Yeah, no, but like of course if you have the love for the sport, you're gonna do it and you're gonna persevere and push through. But like at the same time, it's like an ugly beautiful thing because like there's no other way to put it. Like it's so ugly, but it's so beautiful at the same time because like there's the bright side, like you did it, congrats, like you're so strong. But the ugly is like you literally suffered through it all. Because, like, it's such a mental thing. Like, if you're not mentally prepared for a prep, don't even bother.
Exactly.
Like, do not even consider it. Because, like, if your mental state isn't strong enough to endure, like, not eating for a few hours or not being able to have your favorite foods when you want them, like, do not do it. Because you're going to set yourself up for failure pretty much. Because that's when temptations come in, binging, all the craziness. So, please.
And that just reminds me, I know we had some questions about, like, people... with past like eating disorders going into a prep. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that you need to discuss that with a professional personally because I cannot give you the answers because I don't have that knowledge or background. But your professional dietitian, whoever that is, your primary care doctor may be able to guide you. And if they tell you no, like, listen. Because they're doing it for your greater good. And if you're going to go and sabotage yourself pretty much, then you're just going to find yourself in a black hole.
Exactly. And I think, like, even for us, like, I never had, like, an eating disorder really at all. Never really had a bad relationship with food, but, like, during prep, after prep, I did.
Yeah.
And that was coming from someone with no background with eating disorders.
Yeah, no, it was messy after prep, but we'll get into that later.
Yes.
So messy.
That will be
It's
like a
lot.
juicy episode.
Oh, gosh.
Post-show, if you already competed, you know the vibes.
And, like, you know, like, what's going through my head right now. It's, like, just by my statement, like, oh, my gosh, like, oh. Yep, those are the days.
Damn.
But
yeah, no, I think those are a couple good ones.
yeah, no, for sure.
Anything else that, like, you wish you knew? I guess, like, intentions, health, cost,
I
body
wish
dysmorphia.
I knew how hard posing was.
Oh, yes.
Posing is
that's
so
a huge thing.
hard.
Yeah, and even if you come to show day and you look, like, phenomenal, if your posing sucks, you're not gonna do well.
They, like, rank you based off of your physique. Yeah, that's a small percentage. But, like, it's the way that you present yourself. If you have the poise, if you've got the movement, if you've got that confidence, like, that's what they really judge you on. Because their idea, like, the whole thing was based off of, like, the bikini girls that you want to see on a beach. Like, that's how it kind of, like, arrived or derived from. So they want the confidence, they want the sass, they want the physique, like, they want it all. And if you, like, F up your posing, you kind of just threw your freaking hard work down the drain.
Yeah, that's another expense, is a posing coach.
Yes. Oh, gosh, yes.
That just reminded me.
Because that's separate from your, like, competition prep coach. Because they're going to guide you on your training and nutrition protocols, but, like, they ain't going to dance around with you and teach you how to
actually,
pose.
I was lucky because my coach actually was a posing coach, so she did my posing for me, which is actually great because she could see, like, how I looked, and then she could also do my posing with me, so
yeah.
that's usually not the case. But.
Yeah, no, I had a male posing coach for bikini, which I thought was
Really?
kind of odd.
Who?
Yeah, he was someone back locally at home.
Oh, okay.
But he was actually really good, taught me everything I kind of needed to know. I mean, of course, my posing wasn't going to be perfect my first show, but there's definitely some things that my current coach and I have fixed. So I'm excited to see, like, how my posing switches up now that I have, like, proper posing knowledge and techniques.
For sure.
But yeah, interesting.
So, yeah, your big takeaway is bikini competitions, bodybuilding competitions are not a trend.
No. No, because honestly, that really frustrates me.
They're not a fitness trend. It's not
Like,
a diet. Like, this is a sport. That's, like, the main thing, is this is a sport.
Yes.
It's unhealthy.
Don't
And
do
you need
it
to dig deep.
Yeah, like, don't do it if you're already questioning yourself. Like, if you're listening and you're asking, like, am I ready? More than likely, you may not be ready. Because I don't want to, like, burst a bubble, but, like, I also don't want you to kind of have that, not traumatizing because it wasn't horrible, but, like, have that, like, ooh, is it worth it factor at the end.
You have to have that confidence in yourself, like, for the end result. Like, obviously everyone's gonna have a little bit of, like, doubt in themselves, like, but, like, you just have to go all in.
Yeah, and you really need to, like, stick it through, because once you're into prep, it's really hard to, like, push through, but it's even harder trying to get yourself to stop it, because you've come so far and you're just having an internal battle with yourself. So it's like, might as well finish it, but if you're gonna finish it half-ass, like, don't even start.
Exactly. And I just thought of one more thing, is it's a huge time commitment. Like,
I was doing 90 minutes of cardio for the last 2.5 weeks of my prep-ish, up until peak week.
It's like you're in the gym all the time. Like, I remember going into the gym, like, for fasted cardio in the morning, and then coming in for my training session, and sometimes I would even come in at night to get my my steps finished.
Yeah.
So I would be in 2 to 3 times a day.
Like, my work and school schedule was hectic, because I coached super, super early in the morning from, like, 5 to 8, and then I had, like, 9 a.m. classes till noon. So, like, I was always on my feet, but at the same time, like, I had to wake up that extra early, like, at 4 to get my cardio in fasted. And if I didn't do it in the morning before, like, work and school, I wouldn't be able to eat until like 1 p.m. after I've done my cardio. So then, like, it's just, you need to be organized and structured, but, like, prioritize everything that you need to get done, because if not, like like I said, you're just going to put yourself in a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was so time consuming. Like, after prep, I was like, wow, I have so much time to do anything I want.
Yeah.
I watched so many movies on Netflix
So
during prep.
time consuming. I keep thinking of more things. I was also going to say, like, the sacrifice you make in, like, friendships, like, relationships.
Oh my gosh.
If you're have like a husband or wife, if you're in a relationship of any kind, like family members,
even
like
if you have roommates, like,
yeah, literally anybody
anybody within like physical distance of you, or anyone that you interact with on a daily basis.
Like you really have to warn whoever like you're living with. Like I would definitely give them like a warning, like what to expect. Like it's not you, it's me. Like this is what I'm doing. They probably won't understand, but at least if you, like, I wish I warned them a little bit, because I remember my mom would always be like, Abby.
My parents, I felt so bad.
I lived at home. Like, I didn't even live with my boyfriend at the time.
I lived with James, and that was fun.
Yeah, like, everything, like, even, like, your sex drive, that goes down. Like, that might have an impact on your relationship. Literally everything. And just, like, your energy to just, like, socialize.
To live. No, luckily, like, James and I did prep together. So, like,
oh, yes.
we kind of, like, when we'd get moody, we'd be like, okay, like, just don't talk. Mm-hmm. Like, simply do not talk. Like, let's eat and then we'll have a conversation or something. Like, if we get frustrated, we're like, you know what? You go over there, I'll go over here. Mm-hmm. So that wasn't too bad. But, like, I felt so bad because, like, getting deeper into prep, my energy levels were low. My social battery was non-existent.
Social battery.
And I would be at the gym. And for some reason, like, my parents just, like, have this, like, I don't know, sense that I'm at the gym. So they'll call me when I'm at the gym in the middle of my lift.
And the lift's already so hard because you're in prep.
Yes. And, like, me, like, 20 pounds is, like, freaking 2,000 pounds. So, like, my parents would call me, and I would feel bad that I don't answer. So I would answer. And then, like, my parents are so loving and just so, like, they love to, like, catch up. So they want to have a conversation about my day, how my dogs are doing,
like,
how's James, how's school. And I'm like, Mom, Dad, I literally love you with everything that I am, but I do not want to talk right now. Like, may I please call you later? And it would, like, make me so sad because, like, my parents are awesome. But, like, at the same time, it's like...
That made me really sad, too. It's, like, and also was, like, made me upset because when I prepped in April, that was 2 months before I was moving across the country away from my family. So I was like, this is, like, I'm, like, running out of time with my family, and I'm in prep. So that probably, like, was the best. But that was, like, also... I had just so many... different things that come up. We're not trying to discourage you. We're just trying to, like,
be real.
Be real.
Because, like, I remember I went home for my little brother's birthday, and he loves the foods that I love. So he was like, I want my birthday dinner at a hibachi grill. And I was like, you suck. I was like, I love you, but you're doing this on purpose. Okay. And now you're getting, like, all these lights going off in your head. No, so then...
Like, going out to eat. That's a huge part of, like, your family, like, gatherings and friends. And it's a huge part of, like, your social life and everything.
So you basically go out to sit and drink
water.
Yeah.
Yes.
And depending on what period you're at in prep, a Diet Coke. If you're lucky. But, yeah, no, my brother was like, yeah, I want a super chocolatey chocolate cake, which is, like, my literal favorite thing in the world. So, like... we're singing happy birthday, and I'm just, like, staring at his cake, and then, like, they're cutting the cake, and he, like, pretends to hand me a piece and just laughs. And I was like, you're a turd. Mind you, my brother and I are, like, 10 years apart, so he's a kid. He's fun. I love him. But I was like, can you please, like, take a bite out of it so I can, like, literally watch you take a bite? And, like, my serotonin level's just, like, because, like, watching someone else eat something that you want, at that time, you're so deprived, like, it was good.
At that time, like, I would just leave the room. Like, I couldn't.
I was, like, mentally, like, down. Like, mentally psychotic. I was like, please let... like, oh my gosh, like, all the guys, like, with the yolk or whatever, all those guys, like, came down and stayed with us, and I remember Protein was eating, like, Ben & Jerry's ice cream on my couch, and I was just, like, staring at him. He's like, I'm, like, so sorry, and I was like, no, like, please eat it. Like, it looks so good.
The thing is, like, you can't, like, make people around you feel bad for what they're eating because, like, you're in prep. It's like you chose to be in prep.
You did that to yourself, so don't whine, don't complain.
I remember Pat would be, like, eating Chick-fil-A, and I'd be like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, no. I remember I was like, I can't be a little girl. Like, I have to be a big kid, put my big kid pants on because I wanted to do this. Nobody said, oh, starve yourself. So it was all me.
Yeah, it's 100% in your power. Like, you signed up for this at the end of the day.
I remember I was, like, sitting down watching, like, a movie, and I was eating was it ground turkey with green beans and white rice and hot sauce with tears like running down my face, and I was like, it's spaghetti, just pretend it's spaghetti. And I was like crying. I was like just 4 more weeks. I remember one time I like posted on my story on Snapchat, I was like 65 days until I can have a donut. And then James was like, why would you say that? That's so long. And I was like,
yeah,
not in my head. It was so funny. Like, you do everything to make yourself feel better, but it's like, it's stressful. But yeah, prep is great if you really want to do it.
But yeah, like, definitely do it.
Yeah, but like definitely do it if your mindset is in the right place and all that stuff. But like, if you're questioning yourself, literally reach out to any competitor that you may know, because everyone is willing to share their story with you, and they may seem like they're kind of like shitting on the sport, but it's not that they're doing that. It's just that they want to be real and transparent with you, like we are, because like, yeah, like our pictures and stuff, we looked great. We looked like we were having fun. We looked like it was the best time of our life. And yeah, of course that 15 seconds on stage was the best time of my life, but like at the same time, it's like there's so much that goes on behind the screen that you don't even see. So like you might be fascinated by everything that you see on social media, but literally social media is such a highlight reel of everything that you don't see. Like I will only show you what I want you to know. So that's basically how everyone is. So like you don't know what's going on behind the phone screen, behind the YouTube video. Like you don't know how many tears they've cried, like how frustrated they are, how hungry they are, like how tired they are, just like all that stuff. Like it's so much, like the pros and cons like are pretty much balanced, but depending on how your mindset is, like you'll get through it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, it's like you're like putting an obstacle on your life like voluntarily.
Yeah, you're like
to like overcome it, and you learn a lot about yourself. You definitely do learn about yourself, and you just develop as a human. You become stronger. Like I feel like you're able to handle other situations like a lot better, even like outside of the gym, just because you harnessed all of that, all of those different things during prep. So yeah.
So if you're ready to compete, awesome. If you're still unsure, pray about it, think about it, talk to people, find something that will hopefully light that light again, or maybe tell you to hold back just a little bit. Like you need to be ready. So if you are, awesome, we're rooting for you. If not, that's okay. Like take your time. Like the stage will be there forever, but your memories and the time that you're at in your life right now, you won't ever get that back.
And we don't regret it. I mean, I don't regret it.
I don't regret it. No. Like, I most likely will do it again. Like, I actually will probably next spring.
And isn't that the crazy thing? That after all of this, like, we're willing to probably do it again.
I was like, yeah, I kind of wanted to, like, off myself. But I'm going to do it again. Kidding. Like, Spotify, kidding.
Like, oh, my God.
No, but there were times where I would cry myself to sleep. Yeah. But, I don't know. James did so good. He was like, yeah, it's a breeze, da da da. And I was like, oh, I feel man, like, they have life like so easy.
I feel like guys, like, just for some reason, maybe they're just not as emotional as us.
Like, I would cry because, like, the sweet potato, like, fell on the floor. Jim's nodded yes. No, but yeah. Yeah, you're a wreck if you're female. And if you're, like, on the birth control, your estrogen's lowered, like, roller coaster.
If you see Bri and prep run.
Literally, like, that's why I have Abby now.
Yeah, we're like, we should do a prep together. We're probably gonna kill each other.
Yeah, we might. It's fine. But, like, at least if, like, we're, like mean, it's not, like, because we're actually, like, trying to be hurtful. Like, it's just because, like, I'm hungry.
I think Pat would actually be happy if I went into a prep, because then I would just, like, leave him alone.
He'd be like, okay, Abby, go to the gym already. It's funny.
Okay, we're just about at 30 minutes now, so we'll cut it now, because
peace out.
The next episodes are going to be longer for sure.
Yeah, so I hope you had some laughs, and I hope you're not too discouraged. I apologize for that, because I do want to just be real.
No, so. I don't think it's discouraging.
The real raw truth.
Yeah, the only other thing is, make sure you rate the podcast.
Oh yeah, rate it.
I forgot to say that last time. Because we're brand new.
Yeah, y'all thought I was joking about my bot thing, but we'll go into that later on the episodes. You can hear my mindset. Just hear me out.
If you're not a bot, please give us 5 stars.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because that'll just show me who's a bot and who's not.
You can
But,
even write a review for us. That would be cool. I think that helps push the podcast out to more people.
Yeah, and if you also want to just comment on whatever you want to hear and whatever you want us to talk about. And
share on your
just-
Instagram story if you're watching, if you're listening.
And just little insights, like if you want to get to know more about us, like I'd be willing to share. So really just anything. I'll do my research if I don't know something.
Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, we're just about at 30 minutes. So we will see you guys in the next episode.
Peace out.